Well, chitty chat kitty cats, Merry Christmas to all. Now, last evening here's the one I did. I used the board and I did this with the oil pastels, okay? So that's what the oil pastels look like on the board. I'm still debating if the oil pastels are a good medium for this or not. Now, I do like the rockiness of this, but I think that the oil pastels might be better on the, on these paper, like these are, like this one and this one is, rather than on the board. What do you think? I think the board is better for the gouache. It's like that one that I did and the City of Rocks one that I did last night. I think the gouache works much better on the board than does the pastel oils, because the board is very slick. Okay, it's very, very slick. You could not do watercolors on it. It wouldn't hold at all. So the board is a little more difficult to work with, even with the gouache. Now, usually they use it with the gouache acrylic, the ones that are between acrylic and gouache. Maybe I'll try that, do some of my acrylic and blend it with the gouache and try one of the boards and see how that works. Because the board is better for the acrylic. You need something that really sticks, because the gouache, it will show every brush stroke, when you're working on these boards. It's more difficult to work with because of the just the surface of the board being so slick. It shows every single little thing. So yeah, debating on that. Anyway, let me know what you think. And today, it's just a day for hanging out, enjoying what you have in life. This thing is curling up. That was a watercolor that I had done on this canvas, trying it out for the watercolor. Now, the watercolor seems to work okay on this kind of canvas paper. Okay, it's very, very thin. Okay, so I did this one, and I did also the gouache. The gouache worked okay on it. This is also one that I did on that canvas paper, which looks quite fine with the gouache. Okay, but then you have to put it behind glass because this paper is so thin. Okay. You have to really put it in a frame situation because of the way the canvas is. But it did work okay for doing the gouache painting. I do like this. Yeah, and as long as you put it in a thing like this. Now, I think the matte, if you could get the matte glass would be better. Or have you ever seen the museum glass? It's really expensive, but it has no glare to it at all. It would be like that. It looks like there's no glass there. Okay, the museum grade glass. Not cheap, it's very expensive, but it would be like this. It has absolutely no glare to it. It looks like it doesn't exist. Okay, museum glass. I'm going to have to ask how much it is. They do have a place down here that does have it. But yeah, very expensive to do museum glass in your pieces. So Anyway, that's why I like that kind of the board like this. Okay, this type of board, because you don't have to put in glass or anything. You can put it in a little frame, one of those little cheap cheap frames, and you don't have to have glass or anything in it. So, you know, it's tough. I still keep going back and forth. What do I like? Do I like the canvas? Do I like the board? You know, what works best for what medium? I do like the watercolor paper there that I did, but that was with the oil pastels. Now, it worked well on those papers, and that paper can be done with gouache or with watercolor. Okay, this one is watercolor, okay? And it's that same paper. So yeah, still trying to figure out what medium works best with what type of paper or canvas or canvas board or, you know. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'll figure it out one of these days. Anyway, until then, I'm just going to keep doing the art and enjoying it and, you know, trying to develop my style. What is my style? I think it's starting to come together. It's getting better, okay? So on that note, I'm going to leave this here. I think I'm going to head out, go down to Starbucks and have a one of those chocolate mint coffees today. It's a holiday. I might go a little cray-cray and go down and get one of those today. They're so good. But because of the diabetes, I don't have those things usually. But for today, I think I'm going to stretch it and go ahead and have one, although I'll have them put it half sweet. Okay, half the sweetener in it that you usually put, so it's not so deadly. Okay, so on that note, oh my goodness, I'll see you online.